Now on Denver 7 News at 10, a sweltering start to September as record-breaking heat blankets the Front Range.
Our Denver 7 weather team's tracking how long the high temps will last and when we'll see some relief.
These rebates disappear in an instant. Seems like a lot of interest.
Plus, Denver runs out of e-bike rebates within minutes. We're getting answers from the city about the program's problems and why it might be easier to get one next time around.
We want to make it memorable, and we want the people he would have wanted to be there.
And a Colorado man found dead after being missing for several weeks. How his family's working to lay him to rest and honor his memory.
We start off with some breaking news tonight. Regis University's Northwest Denver campus is currently on lockdown. The university sent out this tweet around 9:45 saying that 3 men were seen on campus heading towards the field house. One of them was seen carrying a long gun believed to be a shotgun. The university is asking everyone on campus to get to a secure location and stay there until the all clear is given. And that DPD is on scene investigating. This story is breaking as we come on air, so we'll be sure to bring you the latest updates here and on our website, thedenverchannel.com.
And now to the record-breaking heat across the Front Range. Denver soared to 98 degrees today, beating the previous record by 1 degree. We set that one just 2 years ago.
And there's more high temps where that came from. Tomorrow, the record high is 95 degrees. That was set back in 2013. And right now, it looks like we are on track to break that one, too.
All right, let's get over to Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson. We are under a heat advisory, and we really don't see those too often.
No, we don't, especially in the month of September. These are some of the record bakers that we had today. 98 for Denver, but triple digits all over northeastern Colorado, western Nebraska, and Kansas. It's still warm out there, but it's not as searing hot. In the 70s now, should drop into the 60s tonight, but it's going to be right back up there again tomorrow. We have air quality alerts for wildfire smoke northwest Colorado and for ozone along the I-25 corridor, and this is the area under a heat advisory for tomorrow. Generally, because our air is drier here than in other parts of the country where they have the heat and the humidity, we don't see these all that often. But those temperatures approaching triple digits tomorrow, it could be easily that you could get heat exhaustion and perhaps really have a lot of dehydration because it would be very hot, dry air. So more record is coming up. As you mentioned, we'll break the record tomorrow. We'll break it again on Thursday. But then big time relief is coming Friday and Saturday. Some new data is just coming in. You'll be surprised just how cool conditions will get by the time the weekend starts. I'll have the 7-day in about 15 minutes.
We definitely like the sound of that. Thank you, Mike. Well, DPS is releasing some students early this week because of the heat and because some of its schools do not have air conditioning. McAuliffe International will let students out early tomorrow and Thursday, and Skinner Middle School students also get to leave class earlier than usual tomorrow. More than 24 other DPS schools plan to let students out early over the coming days. We have a full list on thedenverchannel.com.
And Xcel Energy offers these tips to save some money on your utility bill. Close your blinds. Keep out that sunlight, that heat. If you have a ceiling fan, run it counterclockwise. Also, make sure your AC coils are clean. That will help with your unit's efficiency.
And it's not just Colorado dealing with above normal temperatures. In California, the heat is unrelenting with temperatures 20 degrees above where they are supposed to be. California today set a record for electricity demand as the state tries to keep up with the demand for air conditioning. Power officials have been pleading for conservation, but this afternoon the grid reached 51,000 megawatts, topping a record set 16 years ago. They say if the demand doesn't let up soon, it could lead to rolling blackouts across the state to protect the grid.
And you can keep track of this weather with our Denver 7 Plus app on your favorite streaming device. It has 24/7 weather live streams so you can check conditions anytime.
Tonight, new details on the documents seized by the FBI last month from former President Trump's estate. The Washington Post is reporting that agents found a document which describes a foreign government's military defenses, including its nuclear capabilities. The report cites people familiar with the investigation and says they did not identify which foreign government is named in the document, nor their allegiance or relationship to the United States. They also did not reveal where exactly the document was stored at Mar-a-Lago.
Well, for the first time in more than a century, an elected U.S. official has been removed from office for violating the insurrection insurrection clause of the 14th Amendment. A judge removed New Mexico County Commissioner Coy Griffin from office today for his participation in the January 6th Capitol attack. Well, Griffin is also barred from holding any elected position in the future. Now, the ruling also, significantly here, declares the events of January 6th an insurrection.
The Netherlands Board of Trustees is meeting right now to discuss the future of the town's police department after multiple exits left the force severely depleted. Currently, there's only one full-time officer. It's their chief, and he's set to leave the department at the end of the month. The department is supposed to have 6 officers on staff. The meeting started at 7, and we'll keep you updated as soon as we learn more.
The city of Denver's e-bike rebates are proving to be wildly popular.
Another batch of rebates was released by the city at 8 this morning, and they were all snatched up within minutes. Many were left disappointed as the city tries to get more people out of their cars and into bike lanes.
Well, Denver 7's Rob Harris talked with a woman who tried and failed to get a rebate today. He also tonight looks at the thousands of rebates that are still unclaimed.
The city of Denver tells me it's spreading out the rebates in batches like this for 2 key reasons. The first is to make sure there's the money in the budget to pay out the rebates it's promising. And the second reason is to make sure that bike shops in town can keep up with the crazy high demand. And there are more e-bike enthusiasts in Denver every day.
It feels so free. I can go up hills, I can go long distance.
Lucia Brown's been loving her shiny new e-bike all summer. She was among the first to get a rebate offered by the city of Denver in April.
It replaces a lot of car trips that I would normally take. Like this morning, I went out to a meeting or I rode my bike instead of driving my car. Sadly, I passed my husband and he can't keep up with me now, so it's time for him to get an e-bike.
Brown says she logged onto the city's website first thing in the morning, ready to submit right at its 8 a.m. opening to get a rebate on an e-bike for her husband, but no such luck.
8 a.m., got down, opened it up, and it still had last month's message on it that it will be open September 6th at 8 a.m. Well, it was already 8, it was 8:15, 8:30. It still hadn't opened.
A representative from the city told me she wasn't aware of any widespread tech issues like this, but she did say there were many left disappointed since the demand was so high. Since this e-bike rebate program launched in April, just over 3,100 rebates have been redeemed, totaling about $3.1 million paid out by the city in rebates. But that represents just 47% of the accepted applications to the city being redeemed, meaning more than half have gone unclaimed so far. The rebates have a 60-day expiration date, at which point the city says they are released into the next batch of rebates offered. Lucia Brown's hoping she'll have better luck grabbing one of them for her husband when the next cluster's released October 3rd.
Given that these rebates disappear in an instant, seems like a lot of interest. And every time now when I go places and I park my bike, I used to never see e-bikes. Now they're always there. I'm not alone, so that's nice.
For Denver 7, I'm Rob Harris.
The Inflation Reduction Act will save Coloradans money. That was the message today from Colorado Congressman Jason Crow and Joe Neguse. And I attended a webinar held by Crow and Neguse today who spelled out exactly how the $740 billion law enacted last month will impact Coloradans. Now, in addition to the climate measures and the new tax on large corporations, the Inflation Reduction Act is designed to lower the cost of health insurance and prescription drugs by giving Medicare the power to negotiate.
There are an estimated 5,400 Coloradans in my district alone. These are Medicare beneficiaries that use insulin. The Inflation Reduction Act's cap of $35 a month, if you're a Medicare beneficiary, is going to save a lot of those folks upwards of $1,300 a year.
For prescription drugs, cap at $2,000 is going to benefit 2,000 Medicare beneficiaries in my district who will keep more money in their pockets, and 19,000 Coloradans across our state.
And Republicans have emphasized that this new law signed last month recklessly increases the budget of the IRS and does little to actually reduce the impact of inflation.
Tonight, a Colorado family is searching for closure and community support.
Last week, investigators reported the remains of Filmer Lopez were discovered about a mile from the assisted living facility where he lived. As Denver 7 CB Cotton reports, loved ones hope funeral services will help them heal.
He was a great man. Honestly, he was the type of person who, even if he didn't have it, he would make it happen to give to somebody he knows that needed it more.
Sitting outdoors is now a bit lonelier for Azriela Decker. This was a pastime to be enjoyed with her great-uncle, Filmer Lopez, or Phoebe, as many called him.
Very caring, always knew how to make everybody in the room laugh. He had the smile when he walked in the room.
Lopez's remains were found last Tuesday, nearly 3 weeks after his family says he left his assisted living facility in Garfield County to shop at a nearby gas station. An autopsy ruled his death as natural, the coroner saying he believed Lopez had a medical issue when he died.
It's been something that's been very, very stressful on all of us.
Decker says Lopez was born in Boulder but spent most of his time between Longmont and Lafayette. And despite the alerts issued after he was first reported missing, loved ones say Lopez did not have dementia.
Because I don't want him to be remembered as the person who had dementia and took off walking.
Now, Decker hopes her great-uncle can be remembered for how he lived, not how he died. She started this GoFundMe and hopes to give Lopez the farewell she says he deserves.
He was such a great guy, and words couldn't explain how much of an amazing man he was. We want to make it memorable, and we want the people he would have wanted to be there.
In Garfield County, I'm CB Cotton, Denver 7.
He had this natural ability to befriend anyone regardless of who they were.
A Colorado sheriff's deputy killed in the line of duty.
Perry represented the very best of us.
Now a group of Coloradans honoring his memory, making sure police have the life-saving gear they need for the job.
I've never signed up for that program. I've never gotten any rewards, and they still took control of my thermostat.
Plus, Xcel Energy taking control of thermostats during this late summer heat wave. Now thousands of customers are reaching out as Contact Denver 7 digs for answers.